Hey everybody, Neil Burrow here. It's another Tuning Tuesday, we're going to call it that now. Tuning Tuesday. So we're out with the Buick again. Today I just wanted to do just the small things today. What I was going to do, I was just going to vacuum out the interior and then put all the nuts and bolts that I've taken off into individual bags. That way they're nicely labeled and separated from the rest of their components. But I came down here and I just grabbed the sander real quick, and I decided to go with the back hatch right here. And I found something kind of interesting, and I'll show you in just a second. This car is nothing what I thought it was going to be. Yes, it's got bad paint job, and it's a rusted bucket in there. But it appears to have had a different life before the last owner. Which I'll show you in just a moment here. And it just completely took me aback. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you real quick. Alright, so we are back. Just want to show you real quick the things that I had missed. Now from up here, you see those couple of those little squares right there. We got a square there and a little rectangle there. Kind of comes down. I didn't notice that at first. I just kind of wrote it off as something that was just weird with the paint job and with the old chrome. But then I took the sand block at the top there, the yellow thing, and I brought it down here to the hatch. I literally took 2 passes back and forth, and this white stripe came out through. Because the black paint, it was so thin, it didn't take any time at all. So then I realized, tracing the lines all the way up, before the last owner painted it over with his matte black finish, it had racing stripes on it. I don't know. If that was with the original red paint, the Independence Red, and then the owner who bought that possibly put more stripes on. You can kind of see it through the paint here. There's a little bit of a line. It's kind of hard to see on your end, but I can see it very clearly. That runs the entire roof. But it's impossible to see on the hood until I do a little bit of sanding work on that. So this car had racing stripes. Okay, so kind of blows out the water what I wanted to do. The joys of car restoration and project vehicles. Alright, catch you in a little bit. Alright, so I wanted to show you just how thin this paint is on this car. So I'm not sure how easily you can see it, but there's a line that runs all the way through here, and it ends here, between this line and I believe this line here. That's where the racing stripes are, coming from the front. So I'm going to show you just how thin this layer of paint is. Now watch. Boom. And it's already exposed. That's how thin the paint is. And it's the entire length of this entire car. That's how it is. That's how thin everything of paint is on this car. Yeah. And that's all it takes. 180 grit sandpaper. And all that paint is exposed now. Oh, wow. I'm liking this car more and more every single day. just can't wait to get back on the road. And we got all these little splotches here from how the paint ran a little bit. Same thing over here. So in the last video from last week, I'm just going to do, take out the top layer, see what kind of patterns are exposed, and then lacquer, clear coat the whole thing until years down the road this thing is in its final condition in red and black. Now, with the new stripes, that throws everything off. Do I keep the stripes when I paint it red and silver, or do I just get rid of the stripes as well? So that is the question now. All right, catch you in a little bit. Why am I using water? So I'm trying to keep the dust down in here. Don't want all that dust to be flying around because there's a lot of black paint dust here. Woo! It's hot in here. Alright, so now that the car's look has been transformed once again, I have now exposed every little bit of the racing stripes that were put on here by a previous owner. Don't know if it was the one that I bought it from or from whoever he got it from. So yeah, let's take a look real quick. Okay. Alright, so you see, it runs from the bottom here. I still need to do a little bit of sanding down here, but it does run the entire length of the car. However, it wasn't done very well, just like the rest of the car and the rest of the paint. So, between these two, these stripes here, they are almost an inch off center. So I'm not sure how well you can see the center of the keycap here. And it's off by about an inch to the right. And it's the same story up there. It's kind of hard to see from your end, but they are way out of whack, and they are nowhere near being parallel to the rest of the car. Now let's head to the front. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look too horrible. It's just out of line, and just needs a repaint. Now the hood is a different situation. Because the hood is in such bad shape, lots and lots of rust holes. You can see right here, there's here, some up there at the top. You got some more rock chips and rust holes to the front end. Down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And just kind of continues on the same side. So we got over here where they tried to Bondo it seems. But it's just garbage. And also up here as well, just some through spots in the actual metal, and that's why these stripes just look as they do. You can see Bondo through it all, not even hardly even smooth that at all. But it's still kind of cool to know that this car had racing stripes before it got completely painted over with. So it looks like they had at least another 1.5 inches on either side of the stripes, and then painted that white. And after that white paint dried, they went back, retaped it narrower, and then painted the black spots here. And that's how they went from there. So, it's kind of cool. Just begs another question to if we're going to keep the stripes or change our scheme with the paints in the future. But this is not at all how I thought today was going to go. I was just going to do some menial stuff with bagging all the bolts. They had a little bit of a system with being labeled, but it needs improvement. I was going to vacuum it out the interior with the car, get a shop vac in here and work on that, and then get underneath the car and see what kind of spline we have for the clutch plate, what kind of we can have with that. So just to make sure we have the right measurements and things for a new transmission. I do believe that it is a 10 spline up front on the input shaft, and then it's a 26 on the output shaft. So we'll go with that. And I think that'll be a wrap up for the day. I'm going to do a little bit more sanding down on the side of the car just to see what kind of Bondo we have and what's underneath the paint. If there's any more patterns like last time. So that will be the next thing I'm going to do before the end of the day. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Take care, folks.